Imagine coming home every night, heart pounding, knowing your own father could explode at any moment. For years, my mom lived that nightmare until she snapped. She didn't just leave him. She took everything, the money, the car, the house, and left him rotting in the Arizona desert. This is the story of how my mom got her revenge, and trust me, you'll want to hear how it ends. If you've ever wanted to see a bully get exactly what they deserve, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. Let's dive in. Picture a small, sun-baked house in Arizona, the kind with faded paint peeling under the relentless desert sun. Inside, it wasn't much better. My mom, let's call her Sarah, was a woman with a warm smile that hid years of pain. She was in her late 30s, with tired eyes that still sparkled when she looked at me and my younger brother, Ethan. We were just kids then, me, 12, and Ethan, 9, too young to fully understand the storm brewing in our home. Our dad, Tom, was the kind of man who could charm a room when he wanted to. 6'2", broad shoulders, with a laugh that filled the space. But behind closed doors, that charm vanished. His temper was a wildfire, unpredictable, destructive. He didn't just yell. He'd slam his fist on the table, making the plates jump. He'd grab Mom by the arm, leaving bruises she'd hide with long sleeves, even in 100-degree heat. And the alcohol got the alcohol. He'd force her to drink, with him pouring whiskey down her throat when she begged him to stop. I still remember the smell of liquor on her breath when she tucked me in, her hands trembling as she whispered, "It's okay, baby, it's okay." But it wasn't okay. For years, Mom endured it. She stayed for us for the hope that Tom might change. She worked long hours as a nurse, paying the bills while he drank away what little we had. The car, the house, the savings, it was all in her name because Tom couldn't hold a job. She was the backbone, but he treated her like she was nothing. And that was his biggest mistake. One night, everything changed. It was late, maybe 2 a.m. Ethan and I were supposed to be asleep, but the shouting woke us. I crept to the top of the stairs, my heart hammering so loud I thought he'd hear it. Downstairs, Mom was on the floor, clutching her cheek. A shattered bottle lay nearby, the air thick with the stench of whiskey. Tom loomed over her, his face twisted with rage. "You're nothing without me," he roared. "You'll never leave." I wanted to run down, to scream, to do something. But I was frozen, a scared kid watching his world crumble. Ethan was crying behind me, his little hands gripping my shirt. Mom looked up at Tom, her eyes burning with something new, not fear, but defiance. That was the moment she stopped being his victim. The next morning, Mom was different. She moved, with purpose, her jaw set. While Tom was passed out on the couch, she sat us down at the kitchen table. Her voice was steady but fierce. "We're done," she said. "He doesn't get to hurt us anymore." I'll never forget the fire in her eyes. It was like she'd been holding her breath for years and finally exhaled that she didn't just want to leave. She wanted him to feel the weight of what he'd done, to lose everything, just like he tried to break her. And so she started planning. Mom was meticulous. She'd spent years keeping the family afloat, so she knew exactly where every dollar, every asset was. The house, and her name. The car, hers. The bank account. She'd been quietly siphoning money into a separate account for months, just in case. Tom had no idea how much control she had or how little he did. First, she called a lawyer. She documented everything, photos of her bruises, hospital records from the times she'd lied about falling. She filed for divorce and a restraining order in one swift move. Then she called the police. When they showed up, Tom was still hungover, sprawled on the couch. They didn't hesitate. They cuffed him, read him his rights, and dragged him out. As he shouted curses, I watched from the window, my heart pounding, not with fear this time, but with something else. Pride. But Mom wasn't done. She cleaned out the joint account every last cent. She took the car keys, packed our bags, and moved us to a small apartment across town. The house, she put it on the market. By the time Tom's family found out what he'd done, they turned their backs on him. No one would bail him out. He was alone, facing charges for domestic abuse and assault. The judge didn't hold back 4 years in prison. When Tom got out, he had nothing. No home, no car, no family. The Arizona sun beat down on him, triple digits, as he wandered the streets. Mom had sold the house and moved us into a new life. I heard later he was sleeping in shelters, scrounging for change. The man who terrorized us was reduced to a shadow, burned by the same desert heat he'd trapped Mom in for years. Mom, though, she was free. She smiled again, real smiles, not the ones she faked to keep us calm. She met a man, Mark, who treated her like she deserved. Kind, steady, the kind of guy who'd never raise a hand. They got engaged, and he moved in with us, filling our home with laughter instead of fear. Sometimes justice isn't just about fighting back, it's about taking back your power. Mom didn't just escape. She made sure Tom felt every ounce of the pain he caused. Karma doesn't always come fast, but when it does, it hits hard. What do you think? Did he get what he deserved? If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and drop a comment. What's the most epic revenge you've ever seen? Want more stories like this? Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.